Hello everyone. Hey, I'm doing a short video because I wanted to send this to my family and friends on southern fried cabbage. And I thought, well, since I'm doing this for family and friends, maybe you guys might like to see this too. We're going to start off with some bacon. Okay, I got 2, 4, 5, 6 large pieces of bacon. Okay, and we're gonna put this together like this, and we're gonna cut it in smaller pieces. And I'm gonna start with the bacon first because I want to be able to have this in my pan and cooking while we're doing the rest. Okay, because we're gonna have to cut up some cabbage and some peppers and stuff like that. So while I'm doing that, I figured I'd save some time and already have this cooking because we're going to do the sausage too. Okay, but I want to get the bacon started first because bacon takes a little bit more than that sausage is going to take to cook. Okay, now I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to take this over and put it in my skillet, and I'm using cast iron because I think cast iron gives food a much better flavor. Okay, I'll be right back and I'll give you the view. I'll change the camera view to let you see the pan. Okay guys, I'm back. I got the camera moved. We're just going to take this bacon, I'm going to put it in this cast iron skillet, and we're going to kind of kick it around and just kind of separate it a little bit, like so. And please, I'm not claiming I know everything about cooking, and I'm not normally the cook of the house. Usually my wife is. But I wanted to share this recipe with family and friends, so here you guys go. You're going to start to see how this all comes together, okay? We'll move back over to and start the sausage. This way when the bacon is done cooking, I can throw in the sausage and just start letting it all cook together. Okay guys, now you can use any Polish sausage that you want. This is what we're using. And I'll just tell you guys right now, nobody's paying me to do this video. I'm just doing this for family and friends. I wanted them to be able to check out this recipe and see if they enjoy it as much as we're going to. Okay, make my little garbage pile over here. And now with the sausage, what we're going to do, we're just going to take small, let me see if I can turn this a little bit better for the camera. We're just going to take small pieces like this. Okay? I don't want real fat pieces because one, it takes longer to cook, and two, I just think a smaller, thinner piece like this would go better with the rest of the food, so one thing isn't overpowering the other. Okay? So we'll go ahead and get this. I'm starting to sound like I'm really from the South now. Did you hear that accent? We'll get this cut up, and I'll stir the bacon up a little bit more, and we'll get this mixed in with the bacon. Oh man, I tell you what, I can smell that bacon cooking. I don't know about you guys, but boy, this is one guy here that loves bacon. I just think if you don't like bacon, you're not American. I mean, to me, that is the best American food to have right there is bacon. Bacon, everything. But you guys see how I'm slicing this, right? Just get her sliced up nice and thin. Not too thin though, because then it'll overcook. It'll cook too fast before the other's done. Okay? And I'm just going to nip that end off right there. There, just like that. Okay, I'm going to go move the camera and get this set up so you guys see me stir it up and add it in. Okay guys, you see how this is cooking, right? We're going to get this moved around here. Keep it cooking, and now I'll be honest with you, I know we're going to get a lot of grease from the bacon, but I add a little bit of olive oil, just a dash, you know, just to help out the bacon grease, but olive oil is supposed to be good for you, and I know it's kind of dumb when you're cooking bacon because, you know, bacon's not that great for you, but, you know, I tried to put something a little healthy in there. Okay, now I'm going to move this stuff over, this bacon, even though it's not done cooking, as you see. And I'm going to grab the sausages, and I'm going to slide those down in there so they'll start cooking, because I want all these flavors to mesh. Looks like I got a little bit of the wrapper there. Okay. And we're going to get these down in here a little bit. Now, what I'm going to do for now, to help keep the heat in this pan, I'm going to put a cover on it. And I'm praying I got one big enough to fit that. I'm sure I do, because my wife has a bunch of lids, and that one's close enough, so we're going to do that. We're going to leave this on low, and we're going to go back over to the other side, and we're going to start cutting up our veggies. Okay, and while this is cooking, we'll get that done, and I'll move the camera. Okay, guys, I went ahead and I kind of jumped the gun here, and I'm sorry, but you can kind of see what I did here. I cut the core out, and you don't want to get close to the core because it'll be bitter. You want that sweet taste from your cabbage, so you want to get back away from that core. And this one here needs a little bit more taken out of it, just so we don't have to worry about that. Take this, put it over with our scraps. And this side I already pulled some off, but I like to pull off a couple layers off the outside just to make sure we're getting the good stuff and nothing dirty or nasty. Okay, and then we're just going to, let me make sure I'm keeping in the frame here. We're just going to cut the cabbage like so. And this one we're just going to have to lay down this way, I guess. Okay, now that half is done. Now when we get to the point we start adding this to the, now you see this right here? I'm going to cut that off because I know that's going to be bitter. We get to the point of adding this. Don't freak out when you think, oh, my pan's not big enough. When it cooks down within a few minutes, trust me, you'll have plenty of room. Okay? So we're going to keep all this on here like so. And I'm going to get another cutting pad out so we can do our green peppers. And while we're doing that, I'll go ahead and stop the camera so this video don't turn out to be an hour or 2 hours long. So I'll pause that while I'm getting another cutting pad out, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, we're back. Now I'm only going to use half of these peppers. Okay, we're going to do one green, one red. Okay, set that off to the side. We're going to get the center out of here. Throw it in our scrap pile. Or if we had rabbits now, they would be loving this. All this greens here. Alright, get the seeds out of there, what might be left. Okay. Now these, I want to try to keep them kind of thin. I don't want them really fat. Some people do it really fat, and I don't like that because I'm trying to balance the bite of the food, so one thing isn't overpowering the other. Okay. Now you guys are going to have to try this at home, and you're going to have to tell me what you think, if you like it or not. Okay, that's ready. And we're going to take this one, cut it in half, and cut the center out here. Kind of getting out of the screen there a little bit, wasn't I? Maybe I should have done this live and you guys could have been telling me when I was getting out of view here. And we're gonna clean these out. This is what I'm doing. If you can't see, I'm trying to do it where you can see in the camera. Alright, I'm going to take a second and go stir up my bacon and sausage. Oh boy, guys, let me tell you. Boy, does this smell good. Ah. Okay, now get this, and I'm going to get ready to throw these peppers in on that meat. Well, I guess what a person could do, so we don't overcook anything, is pull the meat out and then start putting our vegetables in there to saute, and then we can add the meat back later. We can do that because I'm kind of being slowed down here because I'm trying to do this for the camera too. So it's a little different when you're doing it on camera versus just doing it and not having to pay attention. Okay, I'm going to take the meat out and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I went ahead and took the meat off the heat. I put it in the microwave and we're going to get ready to do these onions. The medium-sized onion, and we're going to, here, let me take this outside layer off real quick. I like to take the first layer off. This way I know we got a nice onion to work with. Now we're not going to dice this, we're just going to slice it like so. And as it's cooking down in the pan, it will start to separate. Okay? That one there at the end we'll have to cut a little bit. Okay, we'll slide that over. Get the other side of this onion. Get that outer layer off. And look, the center already came out for me. Look at that, we'll just nip that bottom off. Some skin there on my, there we go. That's ready. Okay. Now, we're going to come over here and we're going to take a shallot and this is what we use. Okay, not promoting anything. Nobody's paying me to do this. Like I said, I'm just doing this for family. Okay, and I do this pretty much the outside like I do the onion. Okay. Get that outside layer off like so, and then we're going to dice this one. Okay, then I'm going to shut this off and I'm going to go over and we're going to get ready to put this in the skillet. Okay guys, here we are. We're getting ready to add these in. Okay, and we're going to let these start to cook down a little. I'm going to put a lid on it to help them, and I'm going to get ready with some seasonings that you guys need to add. And as I go to add these into the pan and let them cook in, I'll tell you how much I'm using, and you know, you might want to adjust it to your own flavor, your own taste. But I will give you a list of what you need. The list of everything that we're doing here is 1 medium onion, 1 shallot diced, 1 green pepper. I cut it in half and use only half of the red and the green. 1 Polish sausage, 5, 6, 7, however, you know, if you like more bacon or not, large pieces of bacon, half teaspoon of kosher salt, half teaspoon of black pepper, half teaspoon of garlic powder, half teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder, 1/4 teaspoon of red crushed chili pepper flakes, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon of distilled vinegar. These are the items that I will be adding, and you'll recognize them as they're going into the skillet, okay? But I wanted to give that to you. And in the video, you can pause, write down, you know, the recipe. And if you're family, let me know. I'll shoot you a text of the recipe. And if anybody else wants it, let me know, and I'll just put it in the description, or I'll just put it into the message board. Okay, I'm going to start getting my seasonings ready. Be back in a few minutes, guys. Okay, guys, I wanted to show you, oh, you should smell this. I wanted to show you how things are starting to break down and separate from each other. Just kind of poke at them a little bit, the onions and the shallot. We'll get these a little bit longer, and I'm going to start putting in the seasonings, okay? I'm getting those ready right now, and we'll get that done and get it mixed in there and get it cooking. See you in a few more minutes. Okay, guys, we are back, and I'm going to get these stirred up a little bit more. Turn that upside down so it don't drip everywhere. Get this mixed up. Oh man, this smells so good. We're going to go ahead and start adding these spices. Okay, we're going to start off with, hit the camera there, we still there? Yep. 1 tablespoon of distilled vinegar. 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I'll get that put in there. I almost hate to waste that stuff. That's don't want to leave any of that behind. That's some good stuff right there. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to show you what I got here if I can get it in the camera. Okay, we have a 1/4 teaspoon of crushed chili flakes. Okay, we have a 1/2 teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder. We have 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. Okay, and before I put it in there, I'm going to mix these around in this bowl, like so. So it's already started. And then I'm going to start sprinkling that in, just like so. And then here's the great part. We get to add the meat back in on this. The good stuff. The good stuff. And yes, you see all that oil and grease from the bacon. I want to get as much as I can off that back into this pan. And then we're going to mix all this up, get it mixed in really good, and then we're going to start adding the cabbage. Folks, we're getting so close to being done with this, and it smells so good. I can't wait. It's making the house smell really good. It's making me really hungry. I don't know if I'm going to be able to wait. I might be nipping at it as I'm cooking it. Look at that. Oh, that is just mixing up so good, isn't it? Look at that. Wow. If you could only be here to smell it. I wish you could smell it through that camera. I know you all will be running over to the house wanting some. Okay, I'm going to cover this up for a minute. I'm going to get my cabbage. I'm going to bring it over here and I'm going to start breaking it up a little bit with my hands and putting it in there. Now, folks, I forgot to tell you, before you put it in, rinse it out in a strainer with, cold water. Just kind of rinse it and, beat it around with your fingers a little bit and make sure you get it rinsed really good just to make sure there's nothing in it. Because nowadays at the store you just don't know what you're getting. So do that before you put it in your pan, okay? And I'll be back in a minute. Okay guys, one more seasoning that I forgot to add, and I'm going to add it now, is a ½ teaspoon of sugar. Just in case we miss some of those bitter pieces of the cabbage, okay? So we don't have to worry about making our cabbage bitter, okay? Trust me, you'll love it. Look at this. Oh, doesn't that look good? Okay, we're going to get ready to start adding some of our cabbage. As you see, the peppers, the onions, the shallot, it's all cooked down, marinated really good. Oh, it looks good. I mean, it's, Okay, I got to get this done because this is really making me hungry. Okay, we're going to start just putting this in. Keep the burner on low, and we're going to do this. And as it cooks down, we'll stir it in and add more, okay? Now see, I got a lot more to go in there, but you get the idea. It'll cook down. If you've never done cabbage like this before, you'll find out pretty quick that it'll cook down. And just drop the lid on it and let it cook for a little bit. A few minutes, it'll be cooked down and I'll be adding more. I got the rest of my cabbage being strained off right now. It's dripping. And we'll be back to add that in a few minutes. Guys, I just caught something here. I've been calling the shallots. They're shallots, okay? I'm sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm just running 100 miles a minute here trying to make sure I cover everything for you guys, and I guess I just had a brain fart or something. But they're shallots, okay? So if you go to the store looking for them, they're shallots. Okay, it is, it's spelled S-H-A-L-L-O-T, in case you haven't seen these before. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay guys, as you see, you notice it's not all puffy up to the top of the lid. It's cooking down more. Just got to keep moving it around, and so all of it is exposed. You see this is starting to, it's getting nice and soft, and so now I think it's time for me to add just a little bit more cabbage. Oh man, that smells so good. I can't say that enough. Okay, we're gonna get more of this added here. Oops. Now I'm at the clean stove, so I put an onion down in there. I think we can get a little bit more cabbage in there. What do you guys think? Let's do that. Just kind of break it apart with your fingers as you're getting it in there. This way you can fit a little bit more in there. When I see bright white pieces like that and I happen to catch it, I throw those off to the side. I don't want that in here. To me, that just spells bitterness, and we don't want that. We want it to be nice and sweet and enjoyable. So I don't know about you guys. I'm a pretty sour person, so I need all the sweetness I can get. That's why I put sugar in my coffee even. A lot of people don't like that. I gotta have it. If not, I'm a bear. Okay, we'll see if we can't get the lid on. Just kind of push it down on there. We're gonna kind of mash it a little bit there to get that going. And we'll let this cook a few more minutes and see how it looks. If I need to add a little bit more, I'll add. If not, it's just mainly, I mean, it's just small pieces that are left now. If you can see, I don't know if you can see in the camera there, there's not that much left. I mean, it's not like I have to get it all in there, but I want a nice ratio of meats, vegetables, you know, and the cabbage. I want everything to be kind of equal. So the pleasant of biting with one bite, you're not being overpowered by one single thing. And that's where a lot of people make their mistake. When they cook stuff, they overpower on one thing. Too much meat or too much veggies. You know, you got to try to balance that out a little bit so you can enjoy it. Okay, we'll let this cook down and I'll be back in a few more minutes, guys. Hope you're liking it so far. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I thought I hit the record button and I didn't. I started to stir this up some. That little bit of cabbage I have left, I don't think I'm going to add it, because as I'm bringing this up from the bottom, so the juices kind of run back down through, it looks like I got it pretty even. As you see, as I'm going around, I'm bringing the meats and the bacon, you know, the bacon and the sausage and all the other stuff up from the bottom to the top. It looks like we're going to have a pretty good ratio here. And oh my, I wish you guys could smell this. I would really like you guys to try this at home. And I'm going to give a shout out to a few people that I know might try this recipe right away. And that would be Bob and Sherry and Dawn. And I don't know if my sister would enjoy this or not, but I think she ought to try it, because I think they would enjoy it. For all I know, they might be making something similar to this already. I don't know. But you guys try it, and when you try it, post on the video, post down in the comment section on what you think of it, okay? And also, if you are already doing something similar to this or like this, I don't know. We all live in different states. My sister lives up north, but my brother and my niece live out west, and so we don't get to be at each other's houses. But if you guys try this, I really want you to try it and tell me what you think. And if you do it already, please let me know. All right? I'll be back in a few more minutes when this cooks down. Okay, guys, we're back and I'm stirring it up a little bit. I switched to, as you see, a spatula, so I can actually get down to the bottom and lift the stuff up. I want the juices to come up to the top and just kind of trickle back down through. Man, we need smell-o-vision, guys. Wouldn't that be awesome? We'd all weigh 500 pounds then. Smelling what everybody else is cooking, we'd be out in the kitchen eating all night long. I'm bad for that. I can't be the only one that does that. Okay, we're going to let her cook down just a little. You see how this is starting to look more equal on meats and veggies, and it just, I'm just not going to add any more. As here, I'll show you. I have just a little bit of cabbage left, and it's kind of the white stuff that I don't want to use. But if I needed to, I could add more, but why? Look at that. Doesn't that look great? Oh, I tell you. My wife should love me tonight after this meal, huh? Look at that. Oh, I tell you, I'm going to have to loosen my belt tonight because I tell you, I think I'm going to eat a lot of this. Okay guys, I'm going to let it cook down and then it's going to be done and ready to serve. So we'll give it a few more minutes. Okay, hey, I got to tell you something. We snuck a taste of it because we just couldn't wait anymore. It smells so good. One bad thing here, guys, if you try to do this and you show your wife that you can make meals like this, I was just warned by my wife that I'm showing her that I can cook. So, be careful. Maybe ask for her help to make it look like she's doing it all. But yeah, be careful on how you handle this so you don't get stuck in the kitchen every night. Okay. Well, I guess while I got the camera on, let's stir this up and see what we got here. Oh, listen. Did you hear that sizzling? Oh, it sounds good and it smells good. Guys, I think we're about done here. As you see, it's cooked down. Look at that. I think that's a pretty good meat and veggie ratio, don't you? Look at that. Ah, look at that. Oh, seeing that bacon. I'm like a fat kid in a candy store with this. Look at that. Ah, okay. Guys, here is, and you'll see here, I'm turning it off because it is done. We got a couple that looks like it could be a little bit longer, but leaving the lid on it, you know, it's going to finish it off. So while we're getting the table ready and set, this will finish. And as you see, oh my goodness, that is so good. And it smells so good too. Please guys, try it and let me know what you think of it. All right? All right. Love you to all that's family and friends. Well, heck, I love you too. Try it. Tell me what you think. Okay, guys, I want to give you something else here. I got the good seal of approval from my wife. She loves this. And I think if you try it for your wives, I think they're going to like it too. And even if your wives have to be the one cooking it, I think both of you will enjoy this meal. And it's a very cheap meal to put together too. Okay, I'm going to shut up now and go eat. Have fun, guys. Love y'all. Bye.